Over 2,000 athletes turn up for the second running of TriRock San Diego. TriRock starts now! Welcome to TriCenter. I'm Ann Wessling. The largest triathlon in the city of San Diego took place this weekend. The second running of TriRock San Diego brought back the sprint event and introduced an all-new Olympic distance race. Now, the race included athletes of all types, with beginners and veterans all doing the same race. The morning was full of excitement as the athletes prepared for their journey into the transition area. This year, the race directors planned special events to honor the 10th anniversary of the attacks of 9/11. The race start included skydivers towing an American flag measuring 30 feet with the iconic Coronado Bridge as their backdrop. The first wave of swimmers hit the 65-degree water at 7 a.m. sharp to the sounds of a live rock and roll band positioned in the water on a catamaran. From transition, participants biked along Harbor Drive and ended the race with a run around the downtown waterfront. The layout of the course gave spectators plenty of opportunity to cheer on their family and friends. The race featured all-star treatment for the athletes and included rock and roll bands throughout the course, a red carpet finish line, and finishers' medals. And my favorite part of the race experience, the amazing breakfast waiting for the athletes at the finish line. The pancakes were amazing. Athletes enjoyed their breakfast and beer, yes, there's a beer garden, to the sounds of an AC/DC cover band, Back to Black. The top 3 athletes from each age group were called up on stage and presented with commemorative mugs. These are our fine six-packing 20 to 24 age groupers. What was the best part of your day? Maybe that big old plate of food?
The cycle, jamming on the cycle for sure. My father luckily let me borrow his cycle, and that was the best. The swim was brutal, I'm not gonna lie.
I would have to say the beer. Red Hook, you know, they make a great beverage, so you finish the race, what better way to hydrate than Red Hook beer?
And how was it?
It was awesome, it was a lot of fun. It's a different atmosphere than a lot of the tries that I've ever done before. So
in what way?
There's a lot more people are more excited, so it's a lot more cheering, the music and everything, so.
It's not so intense, right?
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more lighter, and you actually can push yourself more because there's like more people cheering out and everything, so.
Shanice, this is your first race back from a terrible accident. Tell us what happened.
I got hit by a half-ton truck 3 days after this race last year.
Wow. So this is sort of 1 year of rehabbing, and you made it back in time for this?
Yes, it was my goal to get back to this race as, since it was my last race, I wanted it to be the first race back.
Tell me about what all these orange jerseys mean.
It's for Team Challenge, which is for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. And we're doing it because my son has colitis. And these are friends of mine from college that flew out from across the country. He's coming from New Orleans. He's coming from Buffalo, New York. This is my fiance and my best friend.
So what does it mean to be out here on September 11th, 10 years after the day?
It's very, it's great to honor those that were lost and pay thanks to the police, the firemen, and the military currently serving for their service to our country.
Well, one of my best friends is in New York, and she lives on 2nd and 82nd. And the fire station 2 blocks away from her lost 9 guys at 9/11. So in 2001, I did the New York Marathon, and I made the shirt to run the marathon.
It's great to remember what happened, and all of our military overseas right now, and just shout out to all you guys over there. All my brothers are out there right now defending our freedom. So thanks a lot, guys out there, and we're out here showing them that, hey, we can still live and still operate freely in this United States of America.
One of the TriRock participants, physician's assistant Dustin Severns, joined us in the studio a few days before the race to give advice on proper nutrition and injury prevention. Well, we're joined here today with physician's assistant Dustin Severn of the UC San Diego Health System's Sports Medicine Division. Now, you work mainly with joint cartilage and joint resurfacing stuff, but tell us a little bit about what your job entails.
Well, at UC San Diego, I have the ability to evaluate and treat patients of all ages with hip and knee injuries mostly. We see athletes of all ages, see people who are not athletes, but we also help make them more active after we've treated them. We treat them both medically with anti-inflammatories, physical therapy, but also surgical options.
So what are the most common injuries you see in triathletes?
Chronic issues, plantar fasciitis is probably the one I see the most. The only real reason we see that most is because people deal with it for so long. They think they can just treat it on their own. It only mainly hurts in the morning or when they first start running. So they try to push through it on their own, and then eventually they come to us and ask for help. And typically it's a straightforward issue, stretching, change your mechanics a little bit, maybe see a therapist.
Now as a kid, I remember in track having shin splints or little things like that, but never the nagging pain of an IT band. What changes in your body or in the way you train as you get older that all of a sudden it becomes an issue out of nowhere?
Certainly mechanics is part of it, also the amount of activity that we do. You know, for me, now that I've been doing this for a few years, my mileage has increased, my intensity has increased, where when you first start you're kind of feeling things out. So from an intensity standpoint and from a duration standpoint, our muscles and tissues probably can't keep up with what we're forcing them to do. And part of it's just age, unfortunately.
They're making it a lot easier with recovery drinks and that sort of stuff, but what do you recommend that people really make sure they do post-race to ensure that the high can continue? Yeah,
even post-intense workouts, I think time is the most important thing. Recovery drinks are great. For most of us, nutrition is a little bit of an issue. Hydration is certainly an issue, but mostly it's a matter of reducing the amount that you work out immediately after an intense workout, whether it's taking a day off or taking a couple days where your exercise intensity and distance is much less. I think that holds for intense workouts or a race.
Dustin, one of my favorite triathletes ever is a guy I met when he was 79 years old competing in Kona. It was his 20th Kona Ironman, and he didn't start until he was in his 50s. What do you recommend for guys like that, gals like that, who are new to the game, the triathlete game, coming in, the baby boomer generation?
Well, we used to tell people historically that they had to stop their activities. If they started to develop hip or knee pain, they pretty much had to stop all activities. And today, the bottom line is you just change your activities. So if you have a hip or knee related issue, perhaps you stop running. But endurance cycling and other events, stand-up paddling, kayaking, all kinds of other things are an option. We had a patient come in 2 weeks ago who just did a double ultramarathon. He brought a picture in for us of him crossing the finish line. So that's sort of why we do what we do. And no, we never tell people to stop doing things.
I suppose it's quality of life, and if
Absolutely.
If it makes you happy, then...
Absolutely. It's good for everything else, fitness and everything. So.
Well, you're not a boomer. I'm proud to say. You're looking good.
Thanks.
And I can't wait to see you out there at TriRock.
Thanks.
The Olympic or the sprint?
Olympic.
Okay. So do you have a time frame, or you just want to have your kids there?
Just faster than my last one, that's all.
Yeah. Well, good luck out there. We're happy to have you around.
Thanks.
That's our show for today. Keep your eyes out for future TriRock Series race dates and locations at TriRockSeries.com. We'll see you next time.
Whoa, those are some runs!
Who really wants moves like Jagger, though? Isn't he kind of like weird mover? Do you? Mick Jagger, right?